Welcome back. In this video, we'll be continuing operant conditioning. So within operant conditioning, there's partial conditioning, in which a person or animal does not get reinforced every time they perform the desired behavior. And there are four types of partial conditioning, and this includes fixed interval, variable interval, fixed ratio, and variable ratio. And in the following slides, we'll explain each of these. So there are fixed intervals when behavior is reinforced after a fixed amount of time intervals. So these fixed time intervals might be 5, 10, or 30 minutes, or maybe it might be once or twice a day. For example, when a doctor tells a patient to take a pill once or twice a day, this is a fixed interval because there is a fixed amount of time and it is between different time intervals. Or when a dog owner gives their dog food once or twice or maybe 3 times a day, this is a fixed interval because there is a fixed amount of time and it is between different time intervals. Next, there are variable intervals, when behavior is reinforced at unpredictable time intervals. For example, an unpredictable time might be 5, 7, and then 21 minutes. And this is different from fixed intervals because these time intervals are not at a specific set time. For example, a professor may grade their students' assignments maybe a day or a week after they turn it in, but there isn't really a set schedule for when they actually grade it. Or when a person checks their phone, they don't have a set time of day when they check their phone, so it's unpredictable and at different intervals of time. And then there are fixed ratios, when behavior is reinforced after a predictable fixed number of responses. For example, this might be 2, 4, 6, 8. So these are predictable and they're fixed number of responses that go in a certain order. For example, if you work a part-time job, you most likely get paid once every 2 weeks. And this would be considered a fixed ratio because getting paid is predictable and it occurs every 2 weeks. And then there are variable ratios when behavior is reinforced after an unpredictable fixed number of responses. These are unpredictable, but it's a ratio, so there's a fixed number of responses. And for example, gambling is a variable ratio because a person might keep increasing the number of bets or continuing putting a quarter in a slot machine. But they aren't winning in a predictable way. They're winning in an unpredictable way. So no matter how many responses they bet or input a quarter, it's unpredictable whether they'll win at a certain time. And then moving on to a different kind of learning. Our last kind of learning is observational learning, when we learn by watching others and then intimidating or modeling what they do or say. For example, a monkey can learn which fruit to eat and which not to eat by watching their parents choose the type of food which is good or not good to eat. And they could also watch them to see how they eat the food or the fruit in a certain way that is easiest. Or a child could watch their parents build blocks or do other tasks and then try to replicate that task by watching and then modeling their behavior. And then the steps to modeling behavior includes first paying attention. So we need to be attentive to the behavior that we're observing. And then after we have attention on that behavior, we need to remember and retain that behavior that we observed. And then once we pay attention and remember that behavior, we're able to model and perform that behavior that we observed. And then we must be motivated to perform and then replicate that behavior. And motivation can come with vicarious reinforcement or vicarious punishment. Vicarious reinforcement is if you observe the model being reinforced for a certain behavior, then you would be more motivated to copy that model because that behavior that the model is expressing is being reinforced by other people. And then vicarious punishment is if you observed a model being punished for a behavior that they're displaying, and then you would be less motivated to copy that model because they're being punished for that behavior. And Albert Bandura was a researcher interested in observational learning, and in his famous experiment, he had a child watching another child either being mean and hitting a Bobo doll, which is a blow-up clown doll, or the child would watch another child be nice or not interested in the Bobo doll. And then after watching the child, they would most likely model the same behavior that they previously watched the other child do. And Bandura concluded that when we watch and learn, this learning can have both pro-social and antisocial effects. Pro-social positive models can be used to encourage socially acceptable behavior, whereas antisocial negative models can be used to discourage socially unacceptable behavior. And then in the supplementary materials, I'll make sure to link a video so you can watch Bandura's experiment with the Bobo doll. And then that's it for Chapter 6 learning. Make sure you watch these videos and make sure you read the chapter. And then watch the videos in the supplemental material just so you get that added information just in case stuff from these videos or stuff from the book didn't exactly make sense.